Good morning, everyone. It is Mo, and Fry is making sure that the trash pandas are out of the yard after their nightly, check to see if we've left the trash cans open, which we are not supposed to. But when you have the boys, you have young, wild, feral boys taking out trash. Sometimes it works out in the trash panda's favor. Good morning, Eris. I hope you are feeling better. Thank you for being yourself and doing all your Modly Mod stuff. Good morning, Christine and Erin Olivia. Let's see, and Wolfram and JKD Buck. Our first story is What the Hell Were You Thinking? Classroom sword duel held by New Mexico teacher leaves teen student with severed nerves. Yes, that is actually good morning, Sal. Good morning, Zach. Yes, that's actually what happened. A teacher had a sword duel in her New Mexico classroom. What could go wrong? A 16-year-old New Mexico high school student suffered severed nerves and tendons when she was encouraged by a teacher to take part in a sword showdown with another pupil. Yes, I love you and I am petting you, but I am trying to also move the clicker thing, sir, so I only have one hand. Dingus. No. The student, only identified as NS in legal papers, was left prematurely or permanently injured by the face-off that took place on in May 2022 when a Volcano Vista high school teacher provided two teenagers katana and rapier style swords for a bizarre duel, the complaint reported by NBC News states. Yeah, seems like it's yeah, no. You know what you do if you want to let teens duel with each other? They've got these really cool cardboard things in the middle of gift wrap paper or pool noodles. I am a bit confused. Ex-chemistry teacher Lavidia Mitchell allegedly had students set up desks to form a makeshift ring and picked pairs of students to fight each other for a couple of minutes. Yeah, this'll end well. Quote, DM struck NS across her right forearm, wrist, and hand with a katana style sword, the lawsuit alleges, per NBC News. NS suffered a large and deep laceration across her right hand wrist that is inconsistent with a prop sword. No, these were not props. These apparently were real swords. It became quickly apparent that the teen girl was in agony, leading the teacher to allegedly shout, quote, I'm in trouble. No crap, Sherlock. As she demanded other students to dump any videos they shot of the duels, the lawsuit states, but footage kept by the injured student of another shows two teen boys jostling in the classroom with desks around them and a timer on a large projection screen before she was picked to duel next, according to KRQE. Fine, you can have one piece of my breakfast. You are a terrorist. Oh. He's like, but mommy, you have steak, and I don't know what you expected to happen. The student's grandfather was called 20 minutes after the injury, and 911 wasn't called until 30 minutes after the incident. Yeah, just in time for all those nerves to die. The girl underwent surgeries, physical therapy, and sought mental health help with uneventful tasks now a challenge, the lawsuit reads. Quote, her wrist and hand are permanently injured. Those injuries cause her ongoing daily pain as well as cause her to be unable to perform many basic daily tasks, her lawyer wrote, according to NBC News. Yeah, this would be not a prop sword. This would be what you buy in a kiosk at the mall. For the love of all that's holy. An assistant principal, Manuel Alzaga, was also named as a defendant in the suit after Manuel is a girl? Okay. After she allegedly wrote in a report that the student suffered injuries during a quote lesson on metal and melding. Quote, in response to the report's question, did the injury violate school rules? Mr. Alazaga checked the box indicating no, the legal action claims. Quote, it's been devastating. I mean, as you can imagine, this is a high school girl that this happens to. Not only is her life completely different, not only does she have pain of a very serious injury that had a surgery with a very long recovery, but now she has a very dramatic scar on her right wrist, the plaintiff's lawyer, Jessica Hernandez, told KRQE. Quote, job prospects are now off the table for her. She will never be able to use her dominant hand the way she used to. The school district declined to comment when contacted by outlets on the suit that was brought by the girl's legal guardians. Her grandparents, Arnold and Judy Ketchupin. The district did note Mitchell, the teacher, was let go from her job in July 2022 for no reason. They were like, look, we had too many chemistry teachers. We're going to chemistrology, where we let the kids look up chemistry based on their or astrological signs. So, you know, we're for the love of all that is holy. It's unclear what led to her termination. Maybe bringing swords in? Attempts to meet or reach Mitchell were unsuccessful Wednesday night. What in absolute hell? Good morning, Prunella and Old Line Red and Squid Pro Quo, Distant, and I think I saw Jude. So good morning, and Flash Fan and Cool Gamer. In a kind of sad but a very beautiful story, a brave Texas boy, 8 years old with terminal cancer, was all smiles during a whirlwind New York trip where he'll be sworn in as an NYPD detective. Little Julian Galloway is fighting cancer just like his heroes fight crime. The cop-obsessed, terminally ill 8-year-old boy has been battling the brutal disease for more than half of his life, with the recent scan revealing new tumors. But Julian of Texas was granted a brief respite Tuesday and given rare reasons to smile as he launched into a whirlwind tour of the Big Apple organized by nonprofit Police Foundation. Quote, we've been at it for 4.5 years battling cancer. It's been absolute hell, up and down, beating it, getting it again, from the highest highs to the lowest low, his dad, Lee Galloway, told the Post. Quote, these days he has the highest highs. Galloway, a detective with the Corpus Christi Police. Fry, get your nose out of my purse. Fryberto. Fry. Oh, wait. No, I think we need evidence of this. Fry's like, I is doing nothing. I have been caught doing nothing. The purse was left there as an entrapment. The brave boy team or beamed Tuesday when he got to inspect an impressive fleet of police vehicles, his instant favorite being a Port Authority Police Department SWAT truck, and flew drones with NYPD's Technical Assistance Response Unit. Quote, I'm a policeman, the plucky kid told the Post when asked if he'd like to be a real cop one day. Julian was just a toddler when he was diagnosed with medulloblastoma, a rare, fast-growing cancer of the central nervous system. So if I'm dissecting my medical terminology right, it's basically a tumor or a cancer that starts in the medulla, which is closely linked to the brain stem and the nervous system. Before the family got the devastating news, Julian would spend his day at dad's office, quote, playing around, and that's when his fascination with cops started, Galloway said. Quote, we didn't know he had cancer at the time, but he just had a blast. He loves to come to our office. Fry, no more steak for you. This isn't happening. He's like, but I was looking very cute, and you are taking me to go training, and look at my sad eyes. No, see, this is why you're going to training. So his appointment is at 11:30. I had to send Mr. Mo out because I did same day order for a, um, car, harness, and then Amazon was like, "Well, it's gonna get there tomorrow by 6." So we have a PetSmart close to us that had a car harness. He's like, "But I is cute and you love me. So we're gonna get trained together." But at first he needs to be trained by someone who won't fall for the sad eyes. I am terrible at like, my kids know, like, "Sad eyes?" And I'm like, Don't you do it. Don't you do the sad eyes." The when asked why he loves police officers, the energetic boy said, "Because they're cool." The then 5-year-old was sworn in as an honorary member of the Corpus Christi Force in 2001, standing beside his dad in his very own uniform as he vowed to uphold the values of the department and, quote, beat those cancer bad guys. He was invited to the Big Apple when Joseph Imperitens, co-founder of the organization Blue Lives Matter NYC, saw a viral video of Julian's dad posted online of the youngster wearing a police uniform one day when he wanted to go or stay home from school. The troops comes at a especially difficult time for the Galloway family, which also includes mom Monica and Julian's two siblings. A few days ago, the scan showed that the tumors were growing and there looks like there's new ones. So I'm glad that he got to go and do all of these really, really fun things. I mean, it is I can't imagine having to deal with this and having your little life so full of just terrible, horrible doctor's appointments and everything else. So, look, I have different feelings about cops depending on the story, but good on these police officers for swearing him in, for bringing him to New York, and for letting him do all of this fun stuff, with his family and just, loving on this family during this terrible, terrible time. In other news, what in the world? A bodybuilder suffers heart failure from drinking cold water. Fry out of my purse, you dingus. No, no, you don't. No, I had to confiscate that from your non-furry brother. So I start buying Easter candy a little bit at a time, so I don't just have to buy a bunch because, everything is more expensive. Well, everyone's found my hiding places, and, youngest, most feral might have found a piece of candy, so I quickly put it in my purse, and Fry's like, "I'll finish it." Swear, if Fry were a little boy, he'd be Griffin 2.0. Texas bodybuilder has been hospitalized over 20 times due to a rare heart condition that's brought on by drinking a glass of cold water. I take a gulp of cold water. Are you Judge Dread Dog now? I have another gavel coming. Don't. He's going to his den to hide the gavel. I take a gulp of cold water. As I'm sitting back down, I feel a double thud. Franklin Arabenia, 35, told ABC News of his apparent heart-related hydrophobia. Well, maybe it's because you're wearing a waist trainer to get bigger. Why are you wearing a waist trainer, sir? I understand a weight belt if you are doing, you know, squats, but the Houston native, who is part of the International Fitness and Bodybuilding Federation, first noticed the alarming symptom at age 18 while at the gym. "It's a day I'll never forget," recalled the gym shark, who said he felt a noticeable thud while drinking water shortly thereafter he passed out. However, it wasn't until 15 years and 25 doctor's appointments later that Arabenia put two and two together and discovered the seemingly innocuous trigger for his condition, ice cold H2O. The coach said he realized the truth one day after taking a swig of water at the gym, after which he noticed his heart was beating out of control. Alarmed by his paradoxical seeming reaction to life's elixir, had himself checked out by medical examiners. Subsequent genetic tests revealed some surprising results. The muscle man suffers from a genetic arbit- aberration, which causes him to suffer from fibrillation, a disruption in the electrical signals that cause the ticker to beat out of sync. Those shorts are a choice. They are a choice. Doctors felt that Arabinia's arrhythmia was triggered by cold water touching the vagus nerve, part of the nervous system that regulates heart rate, among other things. It was due to an irregular and exceedingly rare reaction to the diving reflex, in which cold water exposure causes the heart rate to slow in order to conserve oxygen and energy, the Daily Mail reported. This response normally resolves when a person is no longer subjected to cold. However, due to Arabinia's pre-existing condition, the reflex caused his heart to beat erratically and his blood pressure to plummet, resulting in the aforementioned fainting spells. Again, shorts a choice. Unfortunately, this H2O allergy is reportedly exacerbated by high intensity workouts such as weightlifting. Arabenia recalled one instance where he lost consciousness while on a golf course on a hot summer day. Well, you're just going to have to deal with the sad grossness of tepid water. That's terrible. Like, I have a bum leg, but that sounds just plain dead awful. I know the things that I would be upset about. I took a sip of Why are you still sipping cold water, sir? It seems like if you put 2 and 2 together over 15 years, why are you still drinking cold water? The one silver lining is that Arabinia's unusual reaction allowed doctors to diagnose his condition fairly early in life, according to his doctor, Kashir Hemetipour. He explained that this is not the case with many sufferers who experience far subtler symptoms like slight fatigue, shortness of breath, and generalized chest pain. No, you get no more, sir. Whining will not help you. Doctors were able to remedy the patient's H2O induced heart problems with an ablation, which cauterized the connection between the vagus nerve and the heart. Since the operation, Arabenia has made a full recovery with no hospital stays, even though he still takes medication to manage his AFib. Quote, Franklin is a phenomenal individual, gushed Hematopour. He's got a lot of drive, and he's very much on top of his treatment. Best of all, the bodybuilder no longer faints at the taste of water. Well, there you go. And I just want to meet this man and see if he'll help me learn how to cook really good brisket, because I think there's things that you can't learn online, and brisket is too expensive to, just experiment with. But I do have a smoker, and sir, if you bring your own brisket, I'll bring the smoker. Look, I won't ask you where you got it from. The brisket bandit is wanted for allegedly stealing meat and rechargeable toothbrushes from Burke Co's stores. This is in Pennsylvania. Police in County have a bone to pick with one guy who allegedly stole nearly $400 worth of brisket. So, like, two briskets. Right. You are just no. Stop with getting in everything, you dingus. He's like, "Who, me? I is doing nothing. I is licking my fry parts." Oh, for the love of Fry. Fry, I can't have you on stream if you're gonna lick your fry parts. Come on now. He's like, "I is done. For now." Uh, From the giant supermarket in Exeter Township on February 13th, store associates later recovered the missing meat. But he apparently didn't stop there. Police think the man being or accused of being the quote unquote brisket bandit tried to steal $375 worth of rechargeable toothbrushes from Rite Aid in Camuro Township this past Monday. The thief ended up dropping them in the parking lot and ran away empty handed. So he really didn't get the brisket? Well, dang it. Well, anyway, sir, if you ever do happen to abscond with the brisket, I'm not going to ask any questions. But if you can teach me how to cook it, it's just too expensive to. In Whiny Baby's Gonna Whine, Glasgow University students angry over reintroduction of in-person exams because cry harder. Students have criticized the University of Glasgow for introducing in-person exams for some courses at short notice. Open book online exams were introduced in 2020 due to the COOF. A group of life science students say they have been given 2 months' notice that exams will be reverting back to their traditional closed book handwritten format. The humanity. Oh no. How however will these poor college students survive? The university said the decision was made due to concerns about artificial intelligence. It will affect life science exams for students in years 3 and 4 of their degree. Yeah, you should have mastered the art of how to take a test by now. University spokesperson said they wanted to be able to assure students and future employers that their life science exams and grades were reliable. However, students say the university has not given them enough time to prepare after being reassured that they would sit their end of year exams online with access to study materials. We are raising an entire generation of kidults. And quite frankly, when I am in a swinging retirement community with my full on bangled, bedazzled out outfit, I don't want my nurse to maybe have had an open book exam on how to, make sure my medication is okay. Dear Lord in heaven, please protect us from these kidults. Rose McCrone, a fourth year microbiology student from Perth, said the change meant that she would be sitting in person university exams for the first time for her final examination before graduation. She said it left her and her classmates feeling very low and sad. It's all anyone could talk about. I've not felt this anxious since I was a teenager in school. Up till now, we've been tested on the way we format an argument. We've never been tested on our ability to recall information. You are in microbiology, which means you are probably going into medicine. Allegedly, or maybe something to do with, pharmaceuticals, and you're like, "Well, but I'll just Google it." Jumping giblets, is this why every single one of the daggone medications I have to take has, like, a list of side effects that could possibly give me, like, irreversible blindness and acute irritation? What in the actual absolute dingleberry ridiculousness is this? That's something we're going to need to teach ourselves. No, you should be able to recall information. You are a fourth year, you're getting ready to graduate in microbiology. This should not be something that is a new concept for you. Holy shit balls. Everyone's really stressed because you can't resit the year if you're in third or fourth year unless you have a medical reason, she added. There was really no indication of when they would go back to in person. Don't curse at me. When they would go back to in person, it's not even the start of the semester. She said there had been little support to ease the transition for students. I don't understand why they haven't included us in the conversation from the start if they had concerns. Mainly because it's short notice, students are going to have to work hard. Godoy, you guys are in life sciences, which are the hard sciences. Are you have you been smoking so much of the devil's lettuce that you thought you could just, I don't know, Google your final exam in hard sciences? Like you could just do what I joked about in the first story, chemistrology, where you base chemistry on your astrological sign? I look, I am a twice failed, college dropout, mostly because I continue to have children, and it's kind of hard to, have a full course load, work full time, and have a gaggle of little small people that you're trying to turn into productive humans. But this person sounds like that she has none of that. I am I am genuinely mind boggled. I am genuinely afeared because these people are gonna be my doctors. Stacey Harris, a third-year human biology student, says she has concerns about the resources available to students. Quote, "They are telling us to use past papers to study, but the past papers for the past 4 years have been online exams, and before that course content was different." She said, "If it's because of AI, why is it so sudden?" Fry Berto Butt Monkey Dingus Smith, what is it about you've got a bone? You are not supposed to use God's tools. You have a bone. You're not, no, you are just showing your behind today. Miss Harris is concerned that the exam could affect her whole degree outcome. I have to get a C grade this year, otherwise I'll graduate late. I'm 30. The last time I sat in person exam was 15. Others haven't ever done it. It's a 3-hour handwritten exam. It's insane to think it's okay to spring this on us last minute when they are showing us no remorse or showing no remorse. Uh, a student from China, a third year anatomy student, said the news has caused her mental, physical, and financial stress. Dear, okay, here's the thing, and I'm going to try to be real sweet to y'all. Life, the condition of life is going to cause you mental anguish. Cheese and jumping giblets, for the love of all that is holy. She told BBC Scotland News, "Since I've been studying here in Glasgow, everything's been online. Now we've got to this news with little notice. I have social anxiety, so it can be difficult to attend classes sometimes. Adding an exam in too, it has been really difficult." She had been planning to visit her parents back in China and had told her letting agent her course would finish in March, but now this is uncertain. Quote, "They are saying the exam would could be at the start of April. The university hasn't given us definite dates yet. They just keep saying wait and see," she continued. The University of Glasgow said a range of measures have been put in place to support students in their preparations. A spokesperson added, "The university has made the change to be uh, in I have never seen this word. I'm going to have to look this up. In person, handwritten exams and life science exams for years 3 and 4 in response to the rapidly changing capabilities of generative AI, artificial intelligence tools, as a result of which online exams in many scientific disciplines are becoming more susceptible to misuse by these tools. The university is committed to adapting and redesigning our approaches to learning, teaching, and assessment in ways that recognize the importance and huge potential of AI in the workplace. We are taking this step so we can assure all students, together with the quality bodies that accredit or accredit degrees as well as in future employers that life science exams are reliable and grades are awarded too. So there you go. It's these poor I need to look it up. Actually, I need to write it down because as a voracious reader, it's rare that I see a word I haven't seen before. Now, seeing a word I don't know how to pronounce totally happens. And I get it if they had waited, but this seems like you guys knew you were on borrowed time. You just you were simply hoping to sneak on by, and now you're upset that things are going back to status quo. Deal with it for the love of of humanity. If you think your mother-in-law is bad, check this chick out. So I'm just saying, you will probably never ever complain because I had to read this story. Yes, he's a cute doofus. Groom's unhinged mom hired goons to throw red paint at bride as she walked down the aisle, and she didn't stop there because cray cray. A couple's dream of the perfect wedding is in tatters after the groom's family reportedly tried to sabotage their big day. The relationship between Alexandra and her boyfriend was just like a fairy tale. The man, born into a wealthy family in Ciudad Abrejon, Sonora, Mexico, and his family had dreamed of him marrying a rich girl. But Alexandra wasn't from a rich family, leading the future in laws to expect or suspect she was only with the man for his money. They then started doing things to stop the relationship. The second the relationship was established, the groom's family rejected the prospect of welcoming Alexandra. According to a Reddit post, Alexandra was nothing short of a sweetheart. Quote, uh, I have heard is that she is a lovely person and wouldn't hurt anyone, end quote, the post read. But due to her lack of family money, the in laws launched a harassment campaign against her, threatening her and trying to bribe her with a blank check to leave her boyfriend. Determined to prove herself as anything but a gold digger, she ignored the constant complaints from her partner's side of the family, but things took a wild turn when they announced her engagement. Well, upon hearing the news of her son's engagement, Alexandra's mother in law to be, Mape, faked a heart attack in a now viral X thread explained. Good God. According to the post, the mom blamed the couple for her ill health and demanded her son, quote, cover all her medical costs. Heifer, I thought you were already rich. Don't you even try to tell me that you search your couch. And if you thought that was bad, just wait. It gets worse. The nuptials were set for February 18th, but when the big day finally rolled around, the groom's family refused to attend. But just because they weren't showing up didn't mean they weren't going to make a scene. Standing in front of the church, Alexandra grabbed her father's hands and prepared to walk down the aisle in her beautiful white dress. She then felt large splashes of something hitting her back. As the crowd screamed in horror, the bride quickly spun around to see multiple splatters of red paint dripping down her embellished gown onto the tiles behind her. According to the Reddit post, the family hired someone to throw red paint on the bride's dress right before walking down the aisle. Three men were tasked with the job, two hurling cans of red paint, and the third recording the incident on his phone. Quote, at first, the guests thought the red paint might be blood, the post read. The bride said she initially felt as if it were water, but then everyone's shocked faces and her friends were trying to reassure her she still looked beautiful. She said the worst part of it was looking at her mother's face because initially she thought she'd been physically hurt. It continued. Shaken by the attack and unwilling to walk down the aisle in a soiled dress, the bride returned home and changed into a floor length, sparkling gold gown. It might not be what she dreamed of, but nothing would stop their union, not even 2 cans of red paint. After saying "I do" and making the marriage official, the happy couple were determined to continue their wedding as planned. Next on the schedule were wedding photos, but the groom's family weren't finished yet. According to the thread on Reddit, the in laws reportedly learned where the couple would be taken and sent an anonymous tip to the police saying that they could find not legal street pharmaceuticals there, explaining the groom might be in possession of them. It didn't take long for the police to show up at the wedding, search the guests, and threaten to handcuff the groom. Thankfully, no one was arrested and the police soon left. Once the drama was out of the way, the couple's wedding went off as usual. Well, at least she got a couple of pictures of her very beautiful dress before she was painted. Like freaking PETA activists were out there. Then came the honeymoon, and sorry, we're not done yet. This look, y'all need to move to, I don't know Mexican geography. I am very sorry. I am not very worldly, but wherever the hell is the furthest direction from his family, set that up. Get yourself some security. Show them pictures of your family, but do it better than the White House does to, O'Keefe, and do the little, like, face shaving guy, with the metal, filings in there. Eh no, no, move to Spain if you can, okay? Shortly before the couple jetted off for their honeymoon, the groom's family hid his passport and visa, allegedly also tried to, quote, bribe the travel agency to ruin the trip. Fortunately, that didn't work, and the bride and groom went on their honeymoon successfully, the post concluded. The local community in Mexico did not regard the groom's family and their actions lightly, reportedly egging their house in response to the harassment campaign. She is hated by the whole town, the Reddit post claimed. The in-laws have since been excuse me, questioned by their friends and denied everything, but do not deny they loved hearing about it. Oh, you people are gross. Get a life. Go do something to help other people. For the love of all that is holy, instead of hating someone to the depths of your soul, go do something to help other people. You'll find that if you do something good, it just changes your entire, I mean, look, I don't know if you're like the Grinch and you were born without a heart, but as a mom, you're hurting your son. You're so gross. Get over yourself. Your son is happy. Now, if they get divorced, you can trash the hell out of her, but for the love of God, she is making your son happy. The Reddit community was shocked by the story, unable to grasp how a family could do such a thing. The poor bride and groom, someone wrote, I hope they take this all serious and move or get protection. This poor couple needs to move away. Someone agreed, far, far away. If the in laws do this right now, wait till she gets pregnant, added another. I would be afraid for my life. They sound unhinged. I don't doubt they would try to hurt her further. That's exactly what I'm saying. Here, message to the groom, man up. If this is a real story, which it looks like it is, they've got pictures, but I don't know how AI works. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt, but this is the New York Post. Husband guy, move your wife out of there. Cleave to your wife, not to your mom, and then you protect her ass, okay? I mean, that can be fun and literal at the same time. And what the actual hell am I looking at? Also, if you're fluffy, don't make your guards do this. This is just terrible. This is terrible. Stop. Fry. Disrespectful DJ Khalid slammed for making his bodyguards carry him so he doesn't mess up unreleased Air Jordans. Now everyone has a thing, and I don't understand tennis shoes being your thing because you walk around in them, but, If you're a fluffy guy, making your guards have to hold your fluffy behind is just bad. DJ Khalid is facing backlash for making two security guards carry him so he didn't quote unquote mess up his Nike Air Jordan sneakers while walking over sand. The music producer, 48, was slammed by fans after posting a video of the incident to his Instagram Monday while promoting his upcoming album. In the clip, Khalid opened his car door, looked down at the ground, then waved over his security personnel. Quote, "I don't want to get my Jordans dirty," he said while standing up. Uh, can I get everybody to help me?" Two men came over to stand on either side. Quote, "All I do is win, Hitmaker," as they hoisted him up, placing their arms underneath his legs. Yeah, he looks like he's getting ready to give birth. What in the This is just sad. You are a grown ass man who doesn't wanna get his tennies dirty. Give me a break. The pair guided Khalid from his, luxury vehicle and into the back of a pickup truck, which took him to the beachside stage. "Thank you, brothers, I appreciate," he said as they set him down. "I can't mess up the J's." Once he arrived at the concert space, the same guards lifted him out of the bed of the truck and then once again carried him to the stage's steps. "You, sir, are an indoor cat, and I am" what the hell? What the hell? You could have taken off the shoes, worn flip-flops, because you are at a damned beach, and okay, so my mom taught me this because we used to live she was in the Navy, and she used to be out the beach all the time before we lived in landlocked Indiana. But if you take a little thing of baby powder with you, you can just dust your legs or any body part with baby powder, and it'll get the sand off. What the actual hell? No. Khalid thanked the men before making his way to greet hundreds of waiting fans with, quote, "All I do is win. No, all I do is don't walk." Sir, you look like you are straining in that freaking, scene in Austin Powers. "Who does number 2 work for?" This is Despite showing love to the bodyguards, Khalid's comment section was flooded with disappointed followers who called him out for being disrespectful. Quote, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen," one user wrote. Get off your effing high horse. Lifting 400 pounds wasn't in the resume," another joked of the security guards, as a third degree agreed that guards don't get paid enough for that. Quote, "I have no respect for you. This is ridiculous that a grown, oversized man would do this," a fourth chimed in. "He talks so much about God and behaves like this over a pair of shoes. Ridiculous." "How about wear some damn sandals and put the Jordans on before walking on the stage?" someone suggested. This isn't the first time that Khalid has been in the hot seat for seemingly putting himself first. Back in 2018, he was slammed online after admitting he would never go downtown on a woman because he believed that was beneath him. Well, isn't that special? "A woman should praise the man, the king," he said in a resurfaced Breakfast Club interview. "If you holding it down for your woman, I feel like the woman should praise, the man should praise the queen." Sir, it's okay. It's Look, I understand you're really bad with geography and walking. It it's okay to just admit you're really, really bad at it, okay? You don't have to be like, "Look, I just don't it's beneath me." No, you've been told you're terrible at it, okay? He continued, "But you know, my way of praising is called, 'Haha, how was dinner? You like the house you live in? You like them clothes you getting? I'm taking care of your family. I'm taking care of my family. You know, I'm putting in the work.'" Oh, you're so dumb. When he was asked if That means he doesn't take care of women in the bedroom, Khalid replied. I didn't do that. However, he also said it would be unacceptable if a woman ever decided she didn't want to mouth hug him, saying there are different rules for men. I don't know. You look like a baby here, so I'm taking away your man card, sir. His comments didn't sit right with many fans and celebrities who spoke against Khalid. Quote, as a man, I take great pride in mastering all performances. Dwayne The Rock Johnson wrote on X. At the time, this is probably a little TMI. Now I'll quietly excuse myself from this fun thread. Westwood star Evan Rachel Wood also replied an article about Khalid's controversial comments, saying he was missing out. Take it from someone who has pride and thoroughly enjoys pleasuring women, she wrote, you should grow up. Yeah, this y- and it also looks like he's wearing an F ton of foundation in this picture. In new things I did not know, I'm not a big Beatles fan, but I like some of their music, not to a point that not to the point I love Queen, okay? Because Queen if I had to pick one British band, Queen reigns supreme, just for me. Paul McCartney reveals haunting Beatles Yesterday lyric is about his mom. Yes, folks, Paul McCartney still longs for yesterday. Indeed, Macca remains haunted by a regretful remark he made to his late mother, Mary, a lament that lives on in the legendary line from the Beatles' 1965 number one single. While Yesterday which was ostensibly a McCartney solo song, with the singer strumming an acoustic guitar over sorrowful string arrangement, has always been considered a breakup ballad. The classic lyric, I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday, is actually a mea culpa to his mother. It was inspired by feeling very embarrassed because I embarrassed my mom, the 81-year-old Beatle reveals in the latest episode of his songwriter podcast, McCartney, A Life in Lyrics. That embarrassment goes back to, McCartney's mother having what he describes as a very posh accent. She was of Irish origin and she was a nurse, so she was above street level, he explains about his mom, who died from breast cancer complications in 1956 when the Beatle was just 14. So she had something sort of going for her, and she would talk what we thought was a little bit posh. One day when they were in the backyard, I know that she said something like, "Paul, will you ask him if he's going?" He recalls, and I went, "Arsk? Arsk? It's ask, mom." And she got a bit embarrassed, and I remember later thinking, "Gosh, I wish I'd never said that." It stuck with me. After she died, I thought, "Oh, F, I really wish." And when McCartney was writing Yesterday, which he has spawned more than 2,200 cover versions, it was that longing immortalized in song. It's okay, Distant. We didn't know that his mom died until we read the article. We're not big giant Beatles fans. Had we known, it would have been a bad joke, but we didn't know. Go get your demon. Sometimes it's only in retrospect that you can appreciate it. He reflects about the line that would breathe a bittersweetness into the bridge of yesterday, which went on to inspire the 2019 film of the same name. Despite his mother providing some iconic inspiration, as his lyrical muse, Sir Paul would take it all back if he could. That would be better. So there you go. Be nice to your moms, kids. And in super de duper sad news, because this man was the greatest Prince John, and Robin Hood Men in Tights is possibly the best spoof movie ever. But Richard Lewis passed away, and it's actually odd because I had just seen a, promotion for the new Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David is basically asking Richard Lewis, "When are you gonna die already?" Which, okay, Airplane's good too. I'm just thinking from my childhood, him being I remember him more as, Prince John from Robin Hood Men in Tights. Richard Lewis said he was, quote, "doing quite well amid his battle with Parkinson's disease less than 3 weeks before his death." The Curb Your Enthusiasm star told People in a February 9th interview that he was struggling with mobility issues but getting by. Quote, "I have occasional walking difficulties with Parkinson's the last couple of years," he shared with the magazine. "It's not major. I'm getting through it so far." Lewis also addressed why he did not attend the Curb series finale premiere party on January 30th. Quote, "I didn't want to go to spend 5 or 6 hours mingling with so many people," he explained. "It's just asking for trouble." While he was disappointed he had to miss season 12 celebration, the comedian said, quote, "All things considered, I'm doing quite well." Lewis first revealed in April 2023 he'd been diagnosed with Parkinson's, a progressive disorder that affects the nervous system and body parts controlled by nerves, approximately 2 years prior. The actor tweeted at the time that he would be retiring from stand-up comedy and he was lucky if he got it late at life. They say it progresses very slowly, if at all, and I'm on the right meds, so I'm cool, he explained. Lewis said he was so grateful to be part of Larry David's HBO show and teased the new season was amazing. Quote, "But, the last 3.5 years, I've had sort of a rocky time, and people said, 'I haven't heard from you. Are you still touring?'" He said. "Here's what really had happened. 3.5 years ago, I was in the middle of a tour, and I finally ended it with a show. I said, 'I'm at the top of my game. After 50 years almost, I'm just going to call it quits.' And I felt great about it. And then just out of the blue, the shit hit the fan." Lewis underwent several surgeries, including hip and shoulder replacements, and practiced physical therapy to help with his pain. But months later, doctors would inform him of his condition. "I started walking a little stiffly," he recalled. "I was shuffling my feet. I went to a neurologist and they gave me a brain scan, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease." Lewis died Tuesday at his Los Angeles home after suffering a heart attack. He was 76. His wife, Joyce Lipinski, thanks everyone for the love, friendship, and support and asks for privacy at this time. Publicist Jeff Abram said in a statement, "He had the best hair. I'm not gonna lie. I know Joey from, Full House hair had pretty good hair, but Richard Lewis had some of the best, like, '80s, early '90s guy hair ever." Lewis was best known for his dark, neurotic, self-depreciating humor. He appeared on several TV shows, including Anything But Love, Blunt Talk, and Seventh Heaven. He also acted in films including Leaving Las Vegas and Once Upon a Crime. Lewis appeared as himself in more than 40 episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm from 2000 to 2024. So, you know, it's sad that we keep losing these really good, really talented, funny actors who are fairly humble and not so into the what is that is a face choice. But there you have it. Oh, Fry, give me 2 seconds, Frybert. So, Fry will be going to his assessment at 11:30. We will see if he is good enough to start training, and I think he is smart enough to train, he just uses his smartness for badness, and if I'm good enough to train, if I can be broken of my bad habits of giving in, which is mainly the problem, to be honest. And I also had a brainwave, y'all. Judge, Judge Sailor Moon adjacent for legal, for copyright purposes. But in the name of justice, I will punish you. might be happening too. So we have, Judge Resting Bee Face, and then we might have Judge Sailor Moon. I'm just saying, the things that I am coming up with when I'm supposed to be sleeping. Anyway, I do not have you guys, rerouted to anything this morning. I was making sure we had everything set for Fry's appointment, so I'm a little scattered today. 'Cause, I have to go out and people, and I like peopling with chat. This is my kinda peopling. I have not heard about Grudge Judge, but Wolfram, I've been trying not to let him know about the cookies, the dark side cookies, but it seems he might have found out. So, I have all these ideas. I know I had, thought about this before, but for those of you who can't catch the early morning streams, I will be taking the more fun or interesting stories and trying to put those in short video form. I think I can do that on StreamYard, allegedly. So, if you watch the live in the morning, and then you see shorter videos pop up from me, those will probably most likely be, just shorter, of the really crazy stories that I found of the day, kind of like The Quartering, but a little funnier. So, we will be doing that and still working on the Delphi timeline and everything like that. It's going slowly but surely. There's a lot of information, and I think everyone who is helping me with that, including Mr. Mo and Debbie W, always thankful, and I am going to let you guys go. Feel free to scatter wherever you would like to go today. I I need to check out the Hales situation. I may have gotten sidetracked when I heard, what the, Hannah Gutierrez Wi-Fi passcode or Wi-Fi thingamabob was, because it sounds like something I would do, and I'm glad that Mr. Mo just put, like, a normal thing, because it sounds like something I would do, and it would come back to bite me in the ass if I ever got subpoenaed. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful day. Say something kind to yourself, something kind to someone else. It's a rough bit of world out there. Apparently, teachers are bringing in swords. We have all sorts of weirdness. Apparently, schools are making you take exams without having open book and AI. What is the world coming to? I'll see you later. Bye, guys.